Hello, good afternoon. It's kind of a year that I don't make this video again, and today I try to continue make this kind of video, which is, as always I say, that's very beneficial for me because it can improve my English skill. Okay, I don't have many topics to talk with you today and mostly every day, but yeah, at least that I want to share some information that probably interesting to particular persons, I would say. And yeah, I hope that at least, even though no one listen this kind of video, but at least that I can improve my language, mostly in pronunciations, because people said that my pronunciation is not good, which is mean bad, of course. And yeah, I think I want to speak slowly because it feels more relaxed than when I choose to talk more faster faster than usually when I talk in English. I think the best way to improve the skill in the language, especially in speaking, is to is understands what our mistake, and then we can fix it, we can repair it, and then making our speaking become better. And yeah, today sorry, I'm not in a good conditions because mostly last few weeks I got colds that make me feel overwhelmed sometimes, but because I'm already used to it, and yeah, I think it's there are improvements in my condition right now, and it's become well far better than I used to be. Okay, I hope this can improve my English from the list of difficult words for spelling. This is precisely this is dictionary vocabularies that I can learn to improve pronunciations, and also to learn more about the words if I don't know the meaning in Indonesians. But I think I got many definition. I already understand most of the definition from these words because it's not the C1 or C2 level words. Mostly it's very common in our ordinary life use. So it's not very hard. Okay. I want to elaborate a word that make a definition. I think it's very great to improve my language. I want to start from the subjects. What it is subject? Subject is kind of a course, a specific knowledge that you learn in mostly in school generally, but specifically in the college or university. And this is about the subjects that I want to give a definition. I want to elaborate and probably give us an example or explains more about the definition and my own experience related to this subject. Okay, the first word is science. Science is very common. It's not really a subject in university, I guess, because I'm myself from social science, and the other side there are what to say it's the something that opposite with the social science is exact science. They say it's like mathematics and medicines and something like that. More about that something physically than the social science, which is talking more about the humans and our activity on the surface of Earth. I think this is what the difference between social science and the other side, which is I forget what the term to call it. I think it's not the exact science, but yeah, I think the exact science is acceptable. But I think there are another terms which better to give a definition opposite than social science. Then we have awards of politics. Actually, politics is interesting subject, at least for me, because I'm very immersed into the politics, especially about international politics, about relation between one country to another country. It feels like very it's very amazing because adding our knowledge into the next level, and then we also can understand better about our social life, because somehow the politics and the law and the decision that made by politicians, they are really have a big impact into our daily life, and it also can um, what you say to have another word to impact, which is I forget. They, of course, the decision from the politician really make an effects to our life, and this is, I think, very important for us to study about this subject about the politics. And yeah, if I have a chance, I think I want to study about the subjects, but yeah, didn't have a chance. So, and then we have our architecture. Architecture, when we talk about architecture is a very common to say about buildings, because mostly, of course, architecture, the science of building, and I don't know much information about architecture because it's kind of far knowledge from me. But yeah, I think I know some my friends, a few of my friends, that they work as architectures, which is quite amusing, and I think it's a very great job and offers many opportunities too. And then we have law. Law is very important, I guess, very important into our lives, to make society become well constructed and obey about the rule. We need law, and somehow law can be mistaken by some people that very self-centered. I don't know how to use the good term about this, but law is kind of a sword with two sides of each, which is somehow people who learn law, they can make a better society. But on the other side, the dark side, people who learn law also can persecute common people, and that's very and it's terrible, I would say. And then geography. I love geography. Geography is a study learn about it's not only learn about the structure of Earth. It also study about human activities and how our activities impact the environment surround us. And what I love about the geography is because geography close to a common knowledge, because we learn about countries, continents, about mountain, river, and something like that, and it's very interesting, and I mostly enjoy it. And I also had experience went to Olympiads in a subject of geography, and the result, even though not very well, but still I proud because I became part of it, and even and still it makes very much nice memory when I was young at high school. And then another subject is history. Some people would likely to say that history kind of boring, but for me, it's a very what you say another word from interesting, because interesting is a very common word, and I uplifting, thrilling, and I enjoyment into the history, because we learn about the past. But in Indonesian, I think the history very unbalanced, because mostly when we listen, when we learn about the history, mostly we learn about the history from the Japanese perspective. So someone like me from out of the Java Islands don't feel much related into this history of Indonesia itself, which is a very disappointed, of course. But I think um, it's reasonable, because mostly the governments and the people in the highest bureaucracy in Indonesia mostly come from Japan. From Java, even though it's not really from Java, even though not really we can't see it at this moment, but in the past decades, yeah, it's true, because we know that the economically and educationally the Java Islands far better from other islands in Indonesia, not to mention infrastructure and another privilege. Okay, and then we also have biology. Biology mostly about the living creatures, and what is interesting about biology is because I love plants and animals, so biology for me very nice to learn, and very important too, because we can understand our life, our body, and so the process in our breads and our foods and something like that is very close to biology perspective, and this is great. And another subject is archaeology. Archaeology, I think, is very related to history, but archaeology more specific than history. In that case, archaeology learn about something that far very past. What you say is learn about our ancestor mostly, about that they are archaeologues, mostly they did research about skeletons, about artifacts, and about old monuments that was built by our old ancestor, which is have different tradition, way of life, and religion that we have today. And another word is literature. I'm very profound about literature, because I write some stories and poems. If you know me better, probably you already know about it. Yeah, because I love to learn about this, so I think that is very related to me, even though my major isn't literature, but at least I know about literature developments in Indonesian landscape, because I follow many publisher, mostly independent and alternative publisher. So I'm very close to this kind of information. So I have, I think, it's better knowledge about literature than mostly people surrounds me. Even though, of course, I'm not. I don't say that I'm now many things about it, but at least I guess that I better informed than ordinary people. And then statistic, I hate statistic because it makes and very complicated. Even though statistic is important, mostly if you want to be researchers, and I don't know what I want to elaborate about the statistic. And then another word we have mathematics. Mathematics is, it's very related to statistic. It's about number, and it's very difficult to learn. I got test about mathematics a few months ago, and the result not very well. And even though I already learned a lot before took a test, but still it's still disappointed. And yeah, because my methods cannot sucks, right? And we have performing arts. Performing arts, I guess, is more like a play. So if you want to become an actor or actress, that you need to study about performing arts, about acting and something like that. This is from my perspective and my opinion, because I don't look into the dictionary which one exactly the definition from performing arts. So I just making it up. So I hope that it's true, even though it wasn't true. I guess that I will know the right definition after this. And then we also have this visual arts, mostly about design, I would say, because when we look into the wall and there are a painting, I guess this is what the mean of visual arts. But of course, it's not only limited into the painting or drawings, but the modern visual arts like sketching in the from the smartphone, I still consider it as arts. If this because that we know that arts kind of very subjective. So which one you consider as work of art, which one isn't, is very different with people. So it's very subjective matter when we're talking about arts. But the visual arts have the right definition, I guess. But yeah, I don't know exactly the definition like performing arts. But my guess is it's about the art that we can see visions look into the wall or another tools or equipments, and not only on the canvas on the wall on the something that have physically visible, touch and visible, but also the visual arts can mean that something in the pond. It's very more modern, I guess. And then another word is physics. Physics is not really different with mathematics, but it's different, of course. But I don't know much about the physics, even though I heard a lot about it. And I come from science class MIFA, which is actually I should know more about physics, but because I don't feel interest in exact words, so I more interested in social science. So I don't know more much about the physics word, which is kind of I don't say it's sad, but I think I should learn better about this. Even though I'm not focused on myself into this subject, but at least that I know more information that I have today. And we have this psychology. I love psychology. Actually, I read more, not I read many books about psychology, and it always capturing my imagination, not imagination, because capturing my emotions, because the psychology is a study to understand how human behaviors and how the human thinking, and that's something that related to our behavior and the way we are thinking and our look into the world. And I very profound about the idea of the way humans think. This is what I love from psychology. And if I have a chance, of course, that I want to learn about psychologists, but it's quite expensive here in Indonesia, so I need to become rational. And that now where my position, right? And then there also anthropology not very different with archaeology, but anthropology more about our ancestor than artifact, I would say. And it's more about the culture and tradition that people in the past than there's something more physically like archaeology. This is different between anthropology and um, archaeology. Then we also have economics. Of course, we know that when we learn about businesses, managements, and something like that, we mostly also talking about economics when we listen or watching the news about investment, about economic crisis. It's very related into the business and politics. This is very important subject to learn economics. Even though if you want to have a good job or career, I don't suggest you learn economics, because economics like another social science, so you don't need to go into the college to learn about this information. And then philosophy. Philosophy, I think the basic knowledge of human rights, and it's very important but most underrated at the modern time, because it seems like we don't care anymore about the philosophy. We just more into something practical, which is not always become wise decision in my opinions, but because we immerse ourselves into the money oriented creature, then it makes us become far from the way we can think logically and wisely, and it makes us become less human, even though we can debate about this what the human definition is. And then I have the word chemistry. Chemistry is about chemists, and we know that is also very important about the substance of atom and something like that. And another word is humanities. It's humanities. I don't really know that humanities is a subject on studies, but study about human and all aspects of human, I would say. This is, we call it humanities, and I don't have many information about that. And then business not very far from economics definition, but business more about how to make money, how to make a good plans to become entrepreneur. And also there are business management. Oh, I forget, it's not only about business but business management. Yeah, of course, they how to manage a business to make a good, profit into the business, but only, and also to make awareness into the brand, our brands, and make people become related to our product. So when we make a product, make a goods, they want to buy it. And this is about the business management. And then another subject is agriculture. I think it's very important because it's very related to our daily food. I love study about agriculture because I myself was a farmer a few months ago. Exactly. I don't know to explain it, but agriculture not really make into more money at this moment, most especially in Indonesia, because we still use traditional equipment, and it's very hard to compete with other country. Okay, there's all of subject that I can talk with you today, and of course that I want to share more, but I need to stop it because I have many things to do, and also it almost 30 minutes, and I would say that thank you to listen me until today, and bye bye.